Hey, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It is Ali, your favorite eccentric slow mad. Good morning. I know it is, most of y'all ain't even up. Most of my listening audience is not up, but that's okay because I'm going live anyway. Impromptu, of course, wouldn't have it any other way. And today we're going to talk about um, would you travel for love? So I definitely want you guys' input. Would you travel for love? And love could be a myriad of things. But this came up in a conversation I was having with someone else. So I want to get you guys' thoughts and talk about some of the nuances to traveling and finding love. Okay. If you guys don't already know, sorry, I'm eating the banana. I'm always eating in my videos. I'm sorry. I'm a full time traveler of 4 years, and I am traipsing the globe, 52 years young, solo, um, slow matter with a little bit of digital in there. Working on ramping up some digital products and projects and products and things like that. In the meantime, just traveling, and love comes up all of the time, especially since I've been out here for almost 4 years. July 29th is my 4 year anniversary. And has it been all candy canes and I mean the fruity kind of candy canes, fruit candy canes and gingerbread and plum snickerdoodles? No, it is not. As speaking of which, I'm actually the reason I'm doing this is because I got some got a little about 40 minutes of in between time because I am moving from my current apartment. This is a common thing. They don't call these tiny houses, but a lot of people are doing the thing where they create like another space so it's not solely like a studio, but it has like a loft style and put the bed up there. Um, I'm gonna go to another one that has a little bit better staircase situation here. I do have a full kitchen there and a full bathroom there with a washer inside and this amazing contraption that you use to dry your clothes. It's not amazing, but it's like really thought out. Anyway, so I'm leaving this place now and in the next 40 minutes and then heading to my next place. I'm going to stay in this city. Hold on, you guys, let me get a little bit more light. Ah, that's better. And then I'm moving to the next place, and I can tell you that I am pleasantly surprised that I like it here. Are y'all tired of hearing me say that? But anyway, so you guys, if you're new to my channel, I talk about all things travel, all aspects of travel, including love and moving around, short term, long term travel, travel tips, how to do this. Uh, and my focus is, or not necessarily my focus, but my perspective is from a middle ager. I'm a gen, I don't know what, I always forget which gen I am. I was born in the 70s, early 70s. I'm 52. And a solo woman. So that's my perspective as a solo woman, as well as being melanated woman from America. So I am American and one of the Americas. And there's so much nuance to those elements of who I present to be and how that presents itself in the rest of the world. And I'm here to walk the walk for you guys. So, and give you a perspective, even though it may not be what you experience, but to kind of let you see the rest of the world and really showcase how open the rest of the world actually is. And how much exploration there is to do. So, you guys, I am on country number 38. This year alone, I have been to 6 places Um, I think 5 places. I've been in Greece, January, Cabo Verde, February, Turkey, March, April, May, June, oh, March, April, May, and then I am also only 4. Oh, Albania. Went back to Albania, and now I am in Hungary. And so Hungary was one I was iffy about. I primarily jumped on it because it was so cheap to fly. I talk about, ways to move around and make your dollars count when you travel. This flight was about 29 bucks, but it ramped up because I always do like priority, and I want a front row seat and stuff. So it's one of those where if you let them pick everything for you, it can be pretty inexpensive. I booked it kind of last minute, a couple days before, and downsized what I was carrying, left some things with a friend so that I can now move about a little bit more easily and explore a little bit more. But I was given some information about Hungary in terms of like the atmosphere, the energy, and it was drab and all of that, and all kinds of things. And oh, what an amazingly pleasant surprise. Every time somebody tells me that something is not good, it turns out to be the opposite so far. So, anyway, this is my journey. If you're interested, go back. I actually have my playlist broken down by country. So, and there's going to be more. I'm going to kind of sift through some things. And I realize that I literally don't have videos for half of the places. I think I only have videos for about 16 different countries. So I've got some video work to do for you guys, at least to give you guys some shorts and snippets and things like that of different places that I've been, um, that you guys don't know that I've been to, and post that out there for you as well. If you are interested in my BTS, interested in talking about more of these things on like more of a one-on-one because you are like in the heat of planning or you're already out here, I do have a BTS behind the scenes travel community that you can access, and there is memberships and things like that that you can sign up for and get one-on-ones with me, and then as well as whoever else is in the group at the time that you join. So check in the description for things like that if you're interested. Um, let's talk about this love thing. It's a groove thing. It's a groove thing. Yeah, yeah. All right. If you don't know me, I sing. I didn't say I sing well. I just sing. So anyway, if this sounds interesting to you, and just the places that I've been this year alone are interesting, or places that you would want to go to, please click the subscribe button, then the notification bell so you know when I go live next time, and tell a friend. I would love for you guys to tell me where you're tuning in from, but it is not uh, obligatory. I like the way that rang off. Oh shoot, I don't have Wi-Fi on this phone. Anyway, I see that someone, a couple people are on or jumped on, so um, I'm going to assume that it's working well and you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, okay, somebody please give me a thumbs up. If you can. Oh, I see one thumbs up, but I don't know if that's a thumbs up because it's going well. I can't see comments. Hold on. Live chat. There we go. All right, so let's talk about love. All right, so you guys, right now, um, I have kind of taken a chill in just exploring and being out here, really trying to settle down. I really am. I'm really trying to find the place that gives me like the most energy. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you watch the video, which I have removed from YouTube, it's actually going to be on my BTS, but a conversation I had with a roomie that I had back in Turkey when I was in Istanbul, Lucy, we were talking about we're talking about a number of different things, but which countries we like the best, which is our favorites, and why, out of the ones that we had overlapped in over the last 9 months. And and then we did an overall, which is our most favorite country. And I said Kenya. And I wasn't thinking. Kenya always seems to be like my home base. So Kenya is always at the top somewhere. Like I could do Kenya. But because Africa is a little bit difficult to maneuver around, um, I have not gone back. It's been a couple years since I've gone back. But I failed miserably and didn't mention Greece and the impact that Greece had on me, the energy, what it felt like. Um, in every single place that I stayed, from Crete, Athens, Gilfata, the coastal part of Athens, and Rhodes, and I've only hit, and I went to one other island, but I wouldn't rank that one high up on my list, but um, that's three out of the 200. And so there's so many other places. Oh, and Corfu. I'm hearing that there is a side of Corfu that I have got to experience as well. And so, one second, you guys. I'm gonna grab my laptop. Everything is packed away for my departure. And but I do want to come on and make sure that the sound and everything is good, because that is my responsibility. Um, but yeah, I was very pleasantly taken aback. And I guess I want to say this really quick. There's always going to be people who don't like something. And most interesting thing is a million people can tell us that they love things, and it takes one person to say, "Oh, I didn't like it. Oh, this didn't feel good. Ooh, whatever." Um, and that resonates, that sits in our head, and that's what carries us. And it often, for me, as of late, has been the most incorrect experience, or uh, kind of yeah, experience. It's not incorrect for them, but um, misrepresentation for me. Meaning that when I got there, I realized that, huh, that does not ring true for me. And this is one of the reasons why I tell you guys, even with my information, I try to be as broad as I possibly can with what I share with you guys, which is why it's not always blue skies and like IG filler kind of stuff. Sometimes it may see a little humdrum and not so fun information and not so great, kind of like this love chat, because I really want you guys experience you guys' commentary. Um, but I want to be able to share with you guys the goods and the not so goods. Um, just the information as it truly stands, because I feel like one of the things that we get is we either get all bad, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, and people explain why they hate it, and it's very personal. Um, and some of it we do need to listen to. And then I've also gotten, oh, it's so glamorous, it's so this, or we had so much fun, or they're just showing this glamorous side, which is not how I travel. So if that's the only thing that makes it glam, then I may not like it, at least for long term. For short term, quite possible. One of the other things is, or not other things, but in addition to that, is just realizing that we all have different experiences. We all, even siblings, we may be able to make suggestions for one another. Um, and we're more in tune with each other as siblings, but it's still our own personal experience, because how we perceive things, how we've received things, things that we've carried, whether they're traumas or personal things. I know that word, but it's real. That we've carried from the past, or our empathy levels impact us different in how we resolve and deal with things. So all of these things are compounded in what an experience needs to be for us to be positive, and or what it inevitably is that makes us kind of shriek back a little bit, right? So the same thing goes for love, y'all. Same thing. So a couple, I don't know if you guys knew, last year. Last year, actually, and I talk about this in a couple of my videos. I met a girl, really cool, Chica, in, she's from Norway. I just call everybody Chica. Met her in Korea. I think it was Korea. Went to Korea first, and then I went to Tokyo. So yes, I met her in Korea. Didn't know her from Adam, and we were getting off the plane and going through immigration and all that, and ended up uh, exchanging numbers, catching the train, and then hanging out one day when we were there, and we've kept in touch since then. Um, and she is the one who persuaded me, or suggested again, hey, you should do dating apps while you're traveling, because it is, even if you do it as a friend to friend, like meeting other women and things like that, because some of the apps now have BFF. They have, and give it a second to catch up. It looks like it disconnected. And anyway, she was telling me, and I was like, "Ah, I did this years ago. It didn't work for me. I'm so organic. I prefer the organic love." And but let's be real. I am not a person that goes out all the time. I do love a good lounge, but if I'm not sitting in the space long enough, you're not gonna find it, right? And I'm a true believer that where or what you love and what you really enjoy doing, when you do that authentically, that's when you find, that's not find, but that's when energies appear, and you end up being in spaces or around people who just naturally gravitate to you, because there is an alignment in energies. You also attract things that aren't so much in alignment, but you got to use, that's something else. Y'all got to use your discernment to weed through those. And so, yeah, a lot of it can be organic. But like I said, when you're moving around, as much as I've been moving around, especially last year, if you think of 5 countries so far, and I'm only in June, is a lot. Last year was a lot too. In 6 months, I was in 2023. I left Colombia December 31st, or January 1, one of the two. Yeah, January 1. So technically Colombia, Costa Rica, Vietnam, Laos, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Korea, and Japan. Can't even get this. That's 9. And my first time in Albania makes 10. My first time in Greece makes 11. That was into September. So into September, I did 11 countries. So bouncing around, it gets a little kind of hectic, like, oh, I'm not sitting here long enough. And I did meet some awesome people in some places, but I wasn't really thinking about dating at the time. And then I arrived in Albania, and I met another lady who I hang out with, and she mentioned, the dating apps and things like that, and how they're nice just to meet people who live longer term, or at least are visiting cities and things like that. And so I said, okay, maybe we'll see. Anyway, I went back to the States, had a wonderful wedding to attend, and left and returned to Albania and said, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. I don't think I tried it though until I got to Athens. I went back to Athens. I went back to Athens. I went back to Greece in November. Yeah, because I didn't use the app at all in October. I think I set it up when I got to Greece. And and wow. the amount of people, and I will say it also depends on what country you're in, because um, sometimes there's plentiful options and sometimes there's not. Sometimes the fish in the sea look like fish in the sea, to put it bluntly. So anyway, I was able to at least meet people um, through the dating and the BFF who have similar lifestyles as me. Fantastic. So what I've learned is a collaboration. What works for me, along with other things that I would not normally do, but how can I cherry pick the parts that I like, because I'm an adult, so I don't have to do all or nothing. I shouldn't even say I'm an adult, I'm a person. Even kids should be able to kind of make some choices and at least be expressive in what they like and what they don't like. And so that leads to this whole um, traveling and dating experience. Would you travel for love? And I know so many people who literally will go across the world to meet somebody that they've never met, or to meet up with and rejoin or reconnect or decide to move abroad for someone. We've also heard about the infamous traveling bros. Um, and I've met, not necessarily met, but um, cross some of that information via the web and stuff like that. And to each their own. Everybody do their own thing, what makes them happy. But one thing I will say is don't, from my experience, is if ultimately you are looking for or wanting to have certain types of companionship, do not put the wall up. Do not block yourself from experiencing it. Because how can you experience it or say something does or doesn't work if you're closed off to trying it out? It's like the same thing when we talk about, like, when we were kids, or we had kids, or you just your friends or whoever, and they say, well, I hate that, or I don't like that, or I'm not going to eat the green bean. Some folks who make green beans make hellified good green beans, right? You can't base every green bean on one green bean, right? So if that's the truth, then why would it not be the truth for relationships and dating? So um open your horizons. It's my first tip. You don't have to go on the apps, but the apps make it a little bit easier. They can wean things out before you even have to go to that coffee shop and decide whether or not you're gonna sit at a table with somebody. And that's what they don't wean out everything, because people do put fake things on. But what I strongly encourage, and what happened for me, is people um, would reach out, and then we would we'd exchange numbers if we chose to, outside of the app, and do a video chat. You can do that before you even meet somebody. Tip number two, if you choose to do that, make sure that if that number one, you use an app generated kind of communication tool, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Instagram chat, Facebook chat, or WhatsApp and WhatsApp chat. But caveat to the WhatsApp chat, if you're going to use WhatsApp, I really encourage you guys to sign up your WhatsApp with a Google number, a number not associated with your full name and your social security like we have in the States. Everything is tied to all of our um uh, so we weird memory that popped up when I was in the workforce. um, Everything is tied to all of our privacy data, right? In our phone numbers, whether it's your cell number or a landline. And we don't realize that when we go abroad and we use our personal numbers in WhatsApp. Everybody gets your number, everybody can see your number. When you use Instagram, this is falls into the how to be safe and date. Um, or just meet people, whether or not it's just meeting people to hang out because y'all both like rock climbing, or, five of y'all like rock climbing, and you kind of want some privacy to yourself. Use a number that's not tied to your name. And you can use a Google number, any type of voice over IP number, um, and just, sign that up on WhatsApp and use that when you travel, which is what I do. I've had it for I think 10 years now. It's the same number. I never have to change it. Doesn't matter what country I'm in. That number remains and stays. And that's the number that you can reach me no matter what country I'm in. So that's one of the tips that I will tell you guys to do if you are going to be on these dating sites or friendship sites or meeting people. We could be even Meetup or Facebook. When you're then in these Facebook groups and you're like, hey, anybody want to come out for coffee? Anybody want, interested in hanging out for drinks? Or, and you're a little iffy about it, and, you get to chatting and things like that. If you got a number that's not tied to your actual name and essence of you, your presence in this world, it's a little bit more comfortable as well, because people can't necessarily track you down. They can't track your information. And honestly, you don't know 100% the mental capacity of people that we meet. We hear stories all the time, so it's better to be safe than to be sorry, right? So that's one of the tips, and that can be, for mainly for women, but guys, I encourage you to take heed of some of these tips, especially if you're out in the world, because we've heard so many stories about men being put in compromising positions because, she was a pretty girl. So be careful too, guys. Okay. And so, anyway, just meeting people that way and having conversations via the tools and stuff like that before you meet makes it a little bit more comfortable. But just one of the things, the probably the last thing I'm going to share in this video, because I definitely want to come back to see if you guys chime in and share your thoughts, is I feel like the quality of partnerships that are attainable when you travel is exponentially greater than the partnerships that are attainable in single settings. For me, let me phrase that for me, but I'm just going to say for everybody. Why is that? Because when you travel, you are now expanding your denominator, right? So the number of people that are available that fit, you know, given it, granted, it has to be where you're going based on where you're going, but you're opening up yourself to um, being surrounded by more people that might fit or be aligned with you. A lot of times, those of us who travel full time, it's for purpose. We're leaving because things don't align where we are. We typically end up not being good fits or good matches in the places that we, grew up in. We've outgrown our surroundings, or we've changed so much that we just don't have synergies like we had when we were kids, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. That means that we're changing. Um, and so when you find yourself in spaces where you are more purposeful, you're intentful in what you're doing, you're more carefree, your energy is more representation of how you truly feel, like you're in a space, a good energy, because you can have energy and not be in a good space. But let's say you're finding what you want out of from yourself, which means that you are representing the positive side. You're going to, in my opinion, meet more people who fit the love you naturally seek. And I feel like you have more opportunity for that when you travel. So would I travel for love? Absolutely. I'm traveling for love of life, right? I'm traveling for the alignment and comfortability in the space wherever I land. Um, I'm traveling for the purposefulness that I need to kind of go into the next 50 years of my life, because we are living longer, y'all. People over 100, lots of people over 100 living fruitful, walking, talking, dancing. Times are changing. um and so why not add companionship, well, more than companionship even, but at the beginning level, companionship all the way to partnership, to this list of things that are possible. Why would I shut it out? Because for me, going back home, home, the operative word, may or may not fit, because I'm not necessarily in alignment with back home. I'm not in alignment with the majority of the mindsets back home, in terms of the way that I live. And I get it all the time, because I do get people who are interested in talking to me, you know, interested in exploring, interested in getting to know me. I can't knock that. That happens. And it's comforting feeling to know that people are interested in you, of course. But why entertain a lot of it when the majority of it is, aren't you going to go back to traditional life? When do you want to come back and settle down? And there will be reasons that I would come back to the States. Um, Very far and few in between. And I'm not going to say I'm here, because you just need to either know them or be in the clique that already knows what those things are. But yeah, those are not things that are enticing or attractive to a person who travels full time, who wants to live abroad, wants to make a new life somewhere else. Telling a person or asking a person when they're going back to a life that they actually prefer to leave is not attractive. It's one of probably the biggest. It's a bigger turn on than the DM pictures. If you know, you know, right? And so I'm saying that to say, sometimes, um, leaving things behind from things when you were younger, things a couple years ago, relationships and experiences, including people and entire places of living, leaving some of those things behind so that you create space for what may come around the corner is imperative. Um, and I think honestly, after a year, and I've gone on and off. I actually lost my sign on to my app. What do you call it? Profile. Like back in January when everything messed up on social media. So I haven't had it for months. And I just recreated it actually yesterday, because I was just like, "Ah, I don't feel like recreating. I have such a good profile." But I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not? Popping around to different cities, it would be cool to meet people. I am in some of the groups, but again, since my social media was screwed up, I can't get back in a lot of the groups because I don't have enough time on social media with new accounts. So that has its positives and negatives, is the penalties that you incur sometimes. But being in some of the dating or friendship apps allows you to kind of still be places solo. It's one of the things I talk about in social engagement in my travel course, is meeting people so that you're not um, always doing things by yourself. When I was in Malaysia, I was there for only 3, 5 days, something like. Well, I was there for 7 or 5 days in Kuala Lumpur, 3 or 5 days in Kuala Lumpur, and then I went to Penang. And while I was in Kuala Lumpur, ended up chatting on a group, and ended up meeting a girl. We hung out for the entire day. She was living there for like 2 or 3 months, and we ended up just hanging out. And so it's for that purpose as well. So hey, you want to go and explore something, you're going to go do something. Maybe someone who lives there already, who already lives there, wants to join you, and so you've got somebody to hang out with for the day. Um, It doesn't always mean a sexual or intimate relationship. It often can just be, hey, you might want to hang out because you haven't developed friendships. You're actually only visiting a place, you know, and you find that you actually connect with somebody for whatever reason, or they want to go and do something and they looked and you look like a person that, is safe or whatever the case may be. Just be wary if you're going out with someone or meeting someone of the opposite sex. Just have your head on a swivel in the beginning. I know some people don't want to hear that or don't want, oh, don't say that. And all men aren't this and all women. I'm talking about men meeting women and women meeting men, whatever the case may be. Be smart about it. Don't do it at 11 p.m. at night unless you already know what your intent is. And if you know what your intent is, then be an adult and say it. Listen, I'm meeting you at 11 o'clock because this is what I want. Be an adult. We on dating apps for reasons. Everybody wants to date, so they even have options where you could say one night stands, no strings attached. Be honest. Just be honest. Don't go on saying, hey, I'm not looking for anything. I just want a friend. When that's not what you want. When you truly want just one night stands and you're not looking for any type of companionship or partnership or anything long term, be an adult and speak that, because you will then align with the people that match you. But I find that what happens is a lot of people get on and say that they want the relationship because they feel that. I had a friend that tell me, well, you can't be honest with when you have to lie. So you lie, you tell them that you're interested, you make up all of these stories about, what you're looking for in life, when in essence it is not the truth. And then she gets hooked, and then she's crazy. Y'all stop it. Um, and yes, that happens abroad too. That happens everywhere. People are people. Just remember, people are people everywhere, okay? Um, and the only thing you can truly protect is yourself. Protect what you're doing, where you're going, how you're doing it. Would you do it back home this way? And I think a lot of the times we have to start thinking, instead of saying, oh, this place is different or this place is different. The world is the world. People are people. Um, you get good and you get bad. So make sure you walk into any experiences with the expectation that it could be good or bad. Okay? Y'all, I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta go. I gotta check out. I gotta check out. So I'm gonna chat with you guys later. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Would you date abroad if you were going to be gone for 2 weeks? Would you date abroad? Would you meet people if you're going to be gone for 5 days solo by yourself? Would you meet up with people? Would you join a dating app? Would you go on a date? Or is it something that you would wait to do if you actually moved to a place? And then would you do it? Or would you go back to wherever your home base, find someone and hopefully get them to come with you? What's your take on dating while you're abroad? Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys know the drill. I appreciate you guys so much. Click that subscribe button and I'll chat with you guys later. You all know the drill. Toodles and noodles. Peace and hair grease.